In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, where the mist clings to the trees and the shadows stretch long into the night, there lies a small, forgotten town called Eldridge Hollow. The townsfolk rarely ventured beyond their familiar trails, for they knew that the woods held secrets, dark secrets that whispered on the wind. It was said that deep within those woods lived a creature known only as the Wraith. Described as a tall, gaunt figure draped in tattered rags, it was rumored to have once been a man who had dabbled in dark magic. After a failed ritual, he was cursed to wander the mountains for eternity, seeking revenge on those who disturbed his resting place. One autumn evening, a young woman named Clara decided to explore the woods. Her curiosity often led her into trouble, but she felt an inexplicable pull toward the dense forest. Armed with nothing but a flashlight and her determination, she ventured deeper than anyone dared to go. As she walked, the trees seemed to close in around her. The air grew thick and heavy, and an unsettling silence enveloped her. Suddenly, she heard a faint whispering that seemed to echo through the branches. "Turn back, turn back." Clara's heart raced. She brushed it off as her imagination playing tricks on her. But as she continued, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. They seemed to come from every direction, wrapping around her like a cold embrace. After what felt like hours of wandering, Clara stumbled upon an old cabin, half hidden by vines and decay. Intrigued and unnerved, she approached cautiously. The door creaked open at her touch, revealing a dark interior filled with dust and remnants of a life long gone. As she stepped inside, the whispers intensified. They swirled around her like a tempest, urging her to leave. But Clara was drawn to an ancient book resting on a rickety table. Its pages were yellowed and brittle, filled with strange symbols and incantations. Ignoring her instincts, she opened it. As she read aloud one of the passages, the temperature dropped sharply. The whispers turned into anguished cries that echoed through the cabin. Suddenly, a shadow flickered at the edge of her vision. Clara turned just in time to see the Wraith materialize before her, a towering figure with hollow eyes that seemed to pierce through her very soul. "Why have you disturbed my slumber?" it hissed, its voice like rustling leaves. Clara's mind raced. She remembered tales of those who had encountered the Wraith, how they had been driven mad or vanished without a trace, but instead of fleeing, she stood her ground. "I didn't mean to intrude," she stammered. "I just wanted to understand." To her surprise, the Wraith paused. Its expression softened for just a moment before returning to its menacing glare. "Understanding comes at a price," it warned. "You must choose. Leave now and forget this place, or join me in eternal darkness." Clara's heart pounded as she weighed her options. She thought of her family, her friends back in Eldridge Hollow, the warmth of their laughter and love. In that moment of clarity, she realized that fear could not rule her life. "I choose life," she declared boldly. With those words, something shifted in the air. The whispers began to fade, replaced by an eerie stillness. The Wraith recoiled as if struck by an unseen force. "You are brave," it murmured reluctantly. "But bravery does not come without consequence." Clara stumbled out of the cabin and into the cool night air. As she made her way back through the woods, she felt lighter somehow, as if a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. Though she returned home safely, Clara knew that Eldridge Hollow would never be quite the same for her again. She had faced darkness and emerged stronger, but also aware of the shadows lurking just beyond the light. From that day forward, Clara became a guardian of stories, sharing tales of caution with those who dared to wander too far into the woods. And sometimes at night, when the wind howled through the trees, she could still hear faint whispers calling out from deep within Appalachia, a reminder of what lay hidden in its depths and what it meant to confront one's fears.